All right, hello everyone. My name is Carly Bouts and I'm a program manager with Junior Achievement of Southern Colorado. This is just going to be a quick training video about our kit-based programs for a weekly delivery format. Thank you so much for watching this video. Junior Achievement is an organization that exists to inspire and prepare young people for a successful financial future. We focus on three core content areas, which are financial literacy, working career readiness, and entrepreneurship. This session is designed to help you feel ready to be a JA volunteer, to give you some more information about what Junior Achievement is and help you feel connected to it, and to say thank you so much for your commitment to helping youth with these programs. So Junior Achievement began in 1919 to inspire students to learn about our core focus areas. It is the world's largest youth development organization dedicated to educating students about work readiness, entrepreneurship, and financial literacy through experiential hands-on programs. Junior Achievement is a worldwide organization, and our office in Southern Colorado is a sub-office of Junior Achievement USA. Here's just a little bit of information about the community need that Junior Achievement exists to address. 20% of United States students won't complete high school on time and earn a diploma. 49% of US employers recognize that talent shortages impact their ability to serve clients and customers. 36% of Americans say that they have at some point in their lives felt that their financial situation was out of control. And 91% of millennials wish that they had greater access to entrepreneurship education. So these are our sort of our reach numbers for the last academic year, 2021 to 2022. We served nearly 12,000 students in 527 classes for a total of 68,549 contact hours with students. And so you are going to be helping us meet the increased demand for these programs this year. Here's just an overview of the programs that we offer for elementary and middle school. For kindergarten through fifth grade, the programs focus on economic issues and financial literacy from the personal sort of level in kindergarten, learning about basic needs versus wants and how to balance those, all the way up to the national level in fifth grade, where students learn about how to be responsible actors in a national economy that interacts with other national economies. All of our programs that you're watching this training for come with self-contained kits. These kits include volunteer guides that are essentially kind of scripts for each session of the program. Those are really helpful for preparing for your sessions and just sort of knowing what to say. Those guides really help a lot. We often have high school students deliver these programs, and they find that with the guides, they're able to do it just fine. The kits are designed for hands-on experiential and active learning. A lot of them contain games for several of the sessions, which students really like, and they're easy to use. These are some expectations for volunteers and teachers when delivering JA programs. Volunteers are expected to complete orientation, which is what you're doing by watching this video, be prepared for their sessions, which we're going to go over how to do in just a minute. Share your background and experience. Lots of students say that this is truly what makes the program stand out for them and what makes it memorable. So never hesitate to share personal stories or stories from your career or really anything that comes up. Students love hearing about your lives. Before the event, contact the teacher to set up a session delivery schedule and also to learn a bit about their class. Have a fun and rewarding experience and teach all of the sessions of your program and complete a class confirmation form that JA staff will send to you. The teacher is expected to remain in the classroom at all times. This is really important for student protection purposes, and also just to make sure that all of the students get their needs met and that you are able to maintain sort of order in the classroom with the teacher's help. The teacher is there to help with classroom discipline and maintaining high expectations for your students. So if at any point you feel overwhelmed or you need help, the teacher is there to step in for that. Please let JA staff know if the teacher steps out of the room. It's really important that the teacher is present the whole time. Teachers supervise students during any breaks in the JA program. Like if you have to run out to use the bathroom or do something else, then the teacher will stay with their classroom The teacher also helps with putting students into groups. A lot of times students are already sitting in groups for activities and things like that, but if you need help, the teacher is there for that, and assist volunteers as needed. This is just kind of an overview of our volunteer process. The first step in volunteering with JA is to prepare for your experience. We'll talk a little bit about what that means. You are asked to review your program guide, connect with the educator, and then personalize and practice your sessions. So for the plan and prepare step, the first thing that you need to do is complete and submit a current JA volunteer agreement. It doesn't matter if you've done this in past years, we are required for our insurance purposes to have new forms on file for each volunteer every single school year. We aren't able to verify classes as being completed unless we have these volunteer forms, so they're really important. Pick up your program kit at the JA office or coordinate kit delivery with JA staff. This is, again, probably specific to your program. I know we're running some programs out of elementary schools where parent volunteers will pick up their kits from the school. Other cases, if it's more of a one-off situation and you're the only volunteer going into a school, we'll ask you to pick that up in our office. If that's an issue for you, if that'll present barriers, we can also do kit deliveries. So that's something that your JA staff member will make clear to you. Familiarize yourself with the materials in your program kit once you've picked it up. Go through each session in the volunteer guidebook. It's helpful to use some other videos for this process. I'll share those on the next screen, but those videos go through each session and teach you how to prepare for each session. It's important to go through all of your materials because some materials for some programs need to be like cut up in advance and divided into like different like plastic baggies to hand out to different groups of students during the day. So just important to take a look at that beforehand. Highlight, underline, make notes in the volunteer guide. The volunteer guide is yours to keep. Use it in whatever way you'd like to. Review the activities and watch the videos on the next screen if needed. These are the program-specific training videos. I will try to provide these in an email as well to you if you need them. If you realize that your videos are not shown on the screen and you would like them, please contact JA staff and we'll do what we can to get you set up. Those videos are about 3 minutes each, and there's one video per session of your program. So about 15 minutes total of videos for each of those links. Next step is to contact the teacher. Our staff will email you your teacher's contact information, or if you've signed up to volunteer through the school will provide it. Send the teacher an email introducing yourself, work with the teacher to design a session delivery schedule for your program. This scheduling is really flexible. You are able to do all 5 sessions of your program in one day if that's best for you and the teacher. You can also deliver 1 session per week for like 5 weeks if that's best, or you can do 1 session every school day for 5 days in a row. Sometimes volunteers deliver several sessions per visit to the classroom. Really up to you and the teacher to figure out what's best for you there. JA staff doesn't really need to know what your schedule is, just as long as you've got it and you know that it'll work for you. Ask any questions to the teacher and ask if there are any special needs or situations that you should be aware of. Some more questions that you can ask the teacher are on this screen. Talking about maybe grouping the students, asking if the teacher has any naming conventions that they like their students to use for adults, asking how the class is set up, tables, desks, grouping, things like that. Most importantly here, a lot of the JA programs that you would be watching this training for contain like posters and things like that that you'll want to hang up for your students to see. So oftentimes magnets are really helpful for that. You might want to ask the teacher to have like 4 or 5 pretty like strong magnets so that you can use those during class time. Is there an attention grabber that you use for your students? I know some teachers like have a lot of success with a very specific attention grabber, so you might want to know what that is before going to the classroom. Is it okay to bring a treat or a giveaway, allergies, anything like that in the classroom? This is a really good thing to ask teachers. Some schools have policies against bringing treats. Almost every school, you can pretty much be guaranteed that you're not allowed to bring anything containing nuts, and also any treats or giveaways have to be store-bought, or any like treats, any food should be store-bought. And then finally, are there any special accommodations I should be aware of? Here are just some teaching techniques and tips. You can tell the students before each session what they'll be learning to help them focus their attention and get excited about the lesson. In the third grade programs, for example, each session contains a music video. So at the beginning of teaching each session of a third grade program, I would tell the students, oh, we're going to have another music video today, and it will teach us about X, Y, and Z. And that typically helps them get excited. When you're managing learners, you can set a positive tone and use positive language to notice what is being done right. Don't hesitate to praise students when they give great answers. Expect respect, stop and pause if needed. You can completely reset the class if you need to. Sometimes it's helpful if students are really antsy to have them get up and take a movement break, maybe have them do some jumping jacks or whatever the teacher normally has them do in those situations. That might also be a good thing to ask the teacher about. When you're having discussions with students, ask open-ended questions. A lot of these open-ended questions are available for you in the volunteer guide, so you don't have to necessarily formulate them on your own. You can use paired sharing if students are all really enthusiastic about answering questions, which I find that at the elementary level they typically are. You can ask them to turn to their neighbor and share their answers so that everybody gets a chance to speak their ideas and to be heard. You can also give students some time to think about questions if it seems like things are moving a little bit slowly. And then we already talked about positively reinforcing good behavior. When you arrive in the classroom, it's helpful if you write your name on the board. That way students can refer to it in case they forget. Tell the students when you arrive that the teacher will be there the whole time and can help with any sort of personal issues that the students might have. You as a volunteer can't give the student permission to go to the bathroom. Obviously, that's something that their teacher would do. Just make sure that the teacher knows in any of these cases. Tell the students what you expect in the classroom. Ask them to raise their hands if they would like to ask a question or contribute anything. Take turns, and then make sure that you follow through with these guidelines. Give directions before splitting kids into groups. I know that if students are paired into groups with their friends, they might get really excited and not pay attention to anything you say from that point forward. Know that from personal experience. So here's just a list of your next steps. You're going to pick up your kit of JA materials or have it delivered to you, whatever you and your JA staff member work out. Schedule a planning session with your volunteer partner if you have one. In a lot of cases, you won't have a partner. But in case two parents have signed up to teach one class or something like that, you might want to organize or coordinate that with the other person you're teaching with. Contact your teacher to design a session schedule. Prepare for your lessons. You won't do any extended or supplemental activities. Sometimes the volunteer guidebooks will list these. If you would like to do any of these activities, you are certainly welcome to, and you can discuss that with your teacher. Finally, sign your name on all of the certificates for students and give them to the teacher so that they can fill in student names. You'll notice that each of your kits comes with a sort of a bundle of certificates for students to have at the end of their program. It's essentially like a diploma for the program. You can have a little graduation for students and things like that. But we aren't allowed to provide student rosters just for student privacy purposes. So where the student names are on these certificates, you'll leave those blank, and you'll want to go ahead and sign those certificates in advance so that the teacher is able to fill in the names before the graduation or the end of the program. Here are some suggested questions that you might have about preparing or student scenarios or about logistics for your program. You'll notice over here that it says, what if the technology fails? Most of these programs that you would be watching this video for will not have tech involved. If they do, then you will know in advance. But the rest of these questions, you're welcome to reach out to any of your JA staff members and ask. And then finally, here is a screen with the contact information for all of the possible relevant staff members. I'm not sure if you can see this right here because I've got my little Teams thing there. So if you're in Pueblo, you'll contact Crystal George. Teller County, you'll contact Sherry Albertson. In the Roaring Fork Valley, you'll contact Tess Vanderhoof. And in Colorado Springs, you'll contact either myself or Jean G. We'll be happy to help you with any questions you might have. And thank you so much for watching this training video.